Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Grown Women of Views and Vibe. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome.
I grew up in a single mother home. I grew up raised by my grandmother and my mother. I didn't know my father till I was about 31. However, I understand that my mother tried her best. I also acknowledge that my mother needed a man to help me become a man. So some mothers try their best, but they sort of aim for the mark and sometimes miss, resulting in their sons growing up to be emotionally unintelligent men. Single mothers sometimes will raise their sons to be like their surrogate husbands, like their son husbands, instead of just allowing that young man grow up to identify what it is to be a man by watching and using examples in his life. Some single mothers will tend to try to raise their sons to be the opposite of the men that hurt them in the past, causing trauma, emotional trauma in their sons as they grow up. See, the goal of parenthood is to raise emotionally intelligent adults. That's what it is. So you're trying to raise your children to become emotionally intelligent adults. Some single mothers emotionally manipulate their sons, causing their sons to grow up with traumatic experiences, trying to identify what manhood is. Because single mothers are trying to put unrealistic expectations on sons at a very early age. And it winds up breaking them and causing them to rebel so much against women.
Sorry about that. Had it on mute for a minute. My apologies, but welcome to Grown Women of Views and Vibes. Please share the live, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed our topic today. We are here today to talk about single mothers being bad. So make sure that you call in because the lines will be on if you have any suggestions or opinions. So right now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and bring in our assistant host, Denise.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing out there? We on Facebook, Twitter, and everywhere else. How y'all doing?
Also, our co-host, Keisha.
And welcome. Welcome to the show. Let's get into
Yes.
it.
Yes. Nothing else is sweeter than a little taste of honey. So welcome to the stage, Miss Honey. Oh, yeah, I think you're.
She can't hear you.
Mute.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can. We have an echo as well. Okay, hold on. Let me see who it is. Testing. Okay. So we'll leave her mic on mute until she gets ready to speak. We have just a little bit of a echo going on. So how are y'all ladies doing today?
Lovely. Good.
Yes. I am so excited for this topic. I know it's going to be kind of fiery, but we got to do it.
I got to put a heart back out there. We're gonna get some love back.
Yes. So, were y'all able to watch The Gentleman yesterday?
Yes.
Yes, they did a fabulous job. I really enjoyed it. They brought some points that it made a lot of sense. So, I really, really was proud of them on how they brung it. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to our assistant host first. What was your thoughts on yesterday's topic with the men?
Okay, unfortunately, I caught half of it, but the half that I did catch was juicy. It was really entertaining. They gave out some great points on the fatherhood and everything. They added a whole bunch of meat in there and potatoes. They did. I'm gonna steal that from Mr. Britton. They added a lot of meat and potatoes to the subject.
Yeah, that was a good meal right there. I agree. I agree. And Keisha.
Well, I just caught the tail end, so I didn't get the meat and potatoes. I really can't make any comments on it because I did not catch the whole show. I was off doing a meeting, so I didn't get to catch the whole thing.
Okay, okay. Miss Honey, I know she was in the building yesterday. What was your thoughts on the guys yesterday's show?
I really think they spoke very well. They got their points across, they broke things down for you so you can understand. They really did an excellent job yesterday. I really enjoyed it.
I agree. I agree. Like I said, I went back and watched them, and I mean, I felt so proud of them and how they brought it, and it was respectful. They did a fabulous job. King D, DJ Mac, Mr. Britton had to work yesterday, so he wasn't able to be in the building. But Dwight, I mean, the guys, I mean, they shocked me. I'm gonna be honest. I was nervous at first, but they shocked me. They always put me in shock, so they proved me wrong sometimes.
They
But
handled it so they handled it well.
they handled it like perfect gentlemen. Yeah, nothing but respect. That's all they showed. No bashing or anything. So they even brought us some laughter too.
Yeah.
So now we here on the flip side to discuss, because I know on the internet we all see at times that, I mean, I see it a lot and I front up on it because I'm like, as single mothers, we sacrifice a lot, we go through a lot, in some of our circumstances, we can't control the position that we're in as single mothers. So, just tell me a little bit on, and I'm gonna go to our not assistant, our co-host, Keisha. What is it like for you to be a single mother?
Um, Many hats. I wear many, many hats. Um, from all the jobs that I do to my daughter is now being homeschooled, so now I'm the learning coach. Um, Making sure there's food, making sure the bills get paid, making sure my little son gets to school and on the bus at 6 in the morning. So it could get stressful because there are many hats that I put on within a 24-hour period.
Yes, yes. And Miss Honey,
I agree with Keisha. We do have many hats. We got to be doctors, we got to be cooks, we got to be limo drivers. We got because my daughter was in gymnastics from the age 7 to 12. So yeah, I had to be many. I had to clean, cook, make sure she eat in between school and gym, and then we had to travel because she was on the U.S. Olympic teams traveling. So yeah, I was pretty busy.
and our assistant host, Miss Denise.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Ooh, single motherhood, that's tough. It's a hard job, and it's a job, like I said, it's a job that wears a huge crown of work. And the single mothers out there right now, they have it even worse than we have it.
Yes, I agree. I agree with all y'all. And my thing is that so I feel like at time our positions as mothers, especially as single mothers, are sometimes taken for granted.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I had to break down this week, and I spoke with Honey shortly about it. How sometimes wording can be misconstrued or displayed the wrong way to cause a person to take offense to what you're saying. Because my thing is that only because of, I mean, and I'm talking about, they say this title, oh, you just a housewife, or you just always stay at home, you don't do anything. And my thing was like, okay, bruh, so how does the house keep going? How's your house clean? How's your meals taken? How the kids are taken care of when it's sick? So, I really don't like the term as saying that that women are housewives. We are household technicians that don't get paid.
Yeah, they should make it. They should have degrees on the wall for this job here.
Yes. So, the job is not easy, it's very exhausting, but to me, in a lot of situations, we don't ask to be single mothers,
Mm-mm.
So Denise, what is your perception on when you hear some women say, well, I'm the mama and the daddy?
You're not nobody's daddy. I hate when people say that. I don't like when women say that. Respect yourself. Respect the man because you didn't conceive the child by yourself. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
You didn't conceive the child by yourself. Leave that where it is.
And Keisha.
Well, even though we wear many hats, especially with our sons, there are some things that you cannot teach your son as being a woman. You just cannot. And if your son doesn't have that male connection, he does struggle. And even for your daughter, she needs to have that male interaction as well. So no, although we do a lot, we are not the father. So women don't take that. We're not men.
Yeah. But no, we're not men. But we do take on a lot. But I agree with Keisha. We need the male figure to help. It takes a nation to raise kids. So yeah, I believe that it takes both.
Okay, in my opinion on that, just like when people try to call me and say Happy Father's Day, like, no, don't do that. Don't take from the fathers. I'm a mother, and my thing is that we don't hold both roles. If you really look at the full picture, if anything, we step in to do what we have to do as women for our children. But we cannot, God structured us to be females. We don't have the mentality or the structure form as a man. So we cannot say that we're in the roles of a man at all, because there's certain things of structure. Because yes, we have the nurturing, we are the emotional, we're the caregivers. But when it comes down to the man with that structure, can no woman do that? No matter how much of a denial you could be in, can no woman teach and put the certain values and morals that a man can, especially with your sons? We cannot teach our boys how to be men. We can tell them, you know, in enlightenment, what we see or what we think that men's supposed to be like. But actually, in having that structure and coming up and upbringing to mold into a man, only a man can do that. And that's it. So, my thing is like when I hear women say, well, I'm the mom and the daddy, like, no, you only have one private part. So you only can be one thing. And that's just my opinion. I'm not the father. My thing is when my ex-husband wouldn't pay child support, or my baby's dad didn't pay child support, I didn't focus on what he was and not doing. I stepped up as a woman and did what I was expected to do by God for my children. And that's a lot of the women's problem. They focus on what the man's supposed to do instead of stepping up as a woman and doing what you have to do in order to provide and take care of your children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so
So
true. Because it's no disrespectful any single mother of today. Because even though the economy is a lot harder than it was in the '80s and the '90s, it's way way harder than it was then. And a lot of times we have a lot of people in our villages too. I was fortunate to have a village. I had my mom, I had all my sisters, I had my uncle, I
Mhm.
have my stepdaddy, love you daddy in heaven, and love because he put a big foot in there to help me with these boys. but but there is no way in the world that I would have been able to be that man in the house. There's no way. I cannot relate to a man because I am a woman. And if man, they told me to be kind to women and stuff, be nice and respectful. But sometimes I'm sorry. I apologize if I offend anyone of what I'm about to say. But I can't stand you women out there that come out there and say that you are the man and the mama. If that's so be it, drop that child support and you be both by yourself. Be both of that by yourself.
Because the last time I checked, when God created Adam and Eve, Eve from the rib of Adam,
Hmm.
there's only one of them that could give birth.
That's right. And one that can plant.
Exactly. So,
Hmm.
just like my son, rest in peace, before he passed away, he tried to have a man-to-man talk with his dad because his dad wasn't in his life like he's supposed to have been. And he sit there and he told me, he said, Mom, don't ever feel like you're a failure. Don't ever feel like you didn't do your best. He said, you're a good mother. He said, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be who I am today. He said, I would have loved to have a father there. And I always wanted a father there, so that he could teach me things of a man. See, the thing about it, he recognized there's only a limited part that I could teach him because I'm a female.
Hmm.
I'm a mother. I'm not a father. So that's why when he had that talk with his father, well, with his dad, because the difference between, a man, whatever, we ain't gonna go there. But anyway, when he had a talk with him, he had to let him know what you deprived me of and coming up as a man. Now, my son had certain figures in his life, and I hope you don't mind me mentioning the name. So a lot of people know him well, but Ray Sorrell used to keep up his head. And I'm gonna tell you the way I was raised. When a man is speaking structure into his son's life, that woman needs to stand down and allow him to be that structure in his life.
Hmm.
Even though we are the emotional sense, we do get in our, like, oh my baby, this, that. That's one problem we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
We
We
have
get
to know
feelings.
when to allow that man to step in that form.
Hmm.
That's why when we was in the barbershop and my son did something wrong, that's not his son. But as a man, he sit there and he stopped him in his tracks and told him as a man what he was supposed to do and how he supposed to handle it. Yes, he came and said, Spicy, I apologize. I said, no, 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 don't apologize because he need that. It takes a real man to stop and help. Like she said, it takes a village.
Hmm.
We need more male role models in this form now, especially now,
Yes.
because these young men, these young males are not coming out as men; they're coming out as boys.
Mm-hmm.
Babies.
So as women, we got to know our place, but we also got to know when to take accountability when we are standing in the wrong position. When it come down to that man being the right statue in that child's life, and that don't just go for our sons, that go for our females as well. And that's why some of our females are making wrong choices in life when it come down to choosing a man for their life. It's the example. So, honey, what's your opinion when you come out and say, okay, there's a man out there, and we know you got a daughter, you have one daughter, you don't have a son, but even as with your daughter, and you're in the thing, but he speaks up to your daughter.
Yeah, absolutely. He like, and when he needs to put his 2 cents in and put his influence into her, he does, and I allow him to. Just like she had two fathers, so they both gave her a lot of influence on being secure, having a father, so she won't have to go out in the streets and look for a father, or She had structure. She had structure on both sides. So she had. I'm sorry, yeah, I get tired telling I'm nervous.
And, you know, I could actually, because being that I've been one-on-one with Honey, and I call her my niece. That's my baby. You know, you could tell the difference when you really, and I know a lot of people probably get mad when they go on with the commercial breaks because we do have videos that's going to speak on this. But when you look at the percentage of when a man is not in the home and when a man isn't, it's going to be shocking. Because I could honestly say that with my niece having the structure of not just her mother, but her father there, we received good news this past, I think it was last week. And
Yes,
so, you know, I'm very proud of her. And it makes a difference than when a man isn't in the home.
Mm-hmm. It is a big difference.
It is. And, you know, we are so proud of, you know, my baby because, you know, she worked hard. She's a totally, but in that sense, do you feel if a man wasn't there, Honey, do you think things would have been totally different when it came down to my niece?
absolutely. Because, we have a good communication, me and my daughter, and she expressed to me that it was good for her to have both in her family because she wanted to make both of us proud, her father's in me, because I, I can explain it in the way of me not father in my life. So
Take a deep breath, girl. Take your time. Take your
I'm
time.
trying.
Well, while she's taking that time, what we're going to do, we're going to go to a short break, and then we're going to come back with more on single mothers being bashed right after this.
told your son, who ain't got a needle in his arm, who I'm assuming pays his own rent, he's married to a registered nurse. He's got 3 baby boys. And you just sat here in his face and said, I don't respect him as a man. Mm-hmm. And you don't think to consider what that does to his heart, to his soul, to his spirit.
I'm sure that's hurtful.
And you okay with that?
And it's hurtful for the things that he says.
But there you go. You're doing it. You're doing it right now. You're doing it right now. I'm holding you accountable, and you spinning. You're spinning your web. You're trying to get away. You're trying to get away. Tell me. Just here's the question. Just answer it. We'll get back to that other stuff later. Tell me.
Forgive me. I respect him. He's a wonderful man.
Do you understand that your mouth, your voice, your words are connected to the coils in his heart, to the valves in his heart? He can't help but love you. And every time you dishonor that love, you chip a piece of it, chip a piece of it. This is why in our culture as black people, when the boys turn a certain age, the men come and get him and take him away from the mother because she can emotionally manipulate him. But since we don't live in our culture no more, we say what we want to say, do what we want to say. We tear our men down and then wonder why they don't make good husbands and fathers. Mothers destroy sons. His mother can speak to him in certain ways that destroy him in ways that can never be repaired.
Yes. Very deep, very, very deep. Now, just a few announcements. As y'all know, we got the Father's Day White Heart Raffle going on. Women, men, and children can enter. Just put your white heart in the comment area and then go ahead and send over your contact information over to either Dwight Robinson or either myself. And when you do both in process, whether we have your number or not, you got to follow the rules and the steps like everybody else. Once we have the completed process, your name is entered. So make sure that y'all watch out for the post. Now, in that video there, before I get to my own opinion, because I mean, it's true that we as women, I had 4 sons, 1 daughter. So I know what it's like to have sons. But our sons, we have to remember is that, like they say, is of the mother. They're protective of their mother. They take everything to heart with their mother. And I noticed that with my own sons, they don't like to see me disappointed in them. They look towards my words and my heart and the way I walk so much, but they would not allow nobody to hurt me either. So when you say certain things to them, it can tear them down. So in that video there, Denise, can you tell us your opinion when it come down to what the doctor was addressing the mother and when it came down to her son?
Well, the doctor, she was right on point. I mean, we can manipulate our children, especially our boys, because they love us so much. We can easily manipulate them into doing what we want them to do or try to get them to do what we want them to do. But in the meanwhile, we can also break them down and crush them where they don't want to have nothing to do with it at all.
Yes, true. Now, even though Honey has a daughter, she has brothers. So, she's very observant when it comes down to people's, reaction and they bond. So when you see things, when it comes down to the son with their mother, what is your opinion in when we speak on that?
Well, I believe, yeah, I agree with you on the sons are very, very protective of their mother, but they also what's the word? They also are very emotional when it comes to their mom because it makes them think about their actions as well, because they'll think of how it make their mother feel if they make a wrong decision or a wrong action that could cause them into getting in trouble. Um, I think
And Keisha,
Yes.
what I know we known each other for a minute, but do you have I know you have daughters, but do you have a son?
I have
And
4 sons.
4 sons, okay, just like me. But what is your perception on that when it come down to the son and how they take things in mentally, emotionally, and how they might react to you being their mother and how it affects their life?
Well, my I've been single for quite a while, and I think it affects them a lot. I just sit back and I look at my sons, and I can see the part of a man that's missing in them. Um, Even from potty training, teaching them to stand up versus sitting down. It's just the small things. My sons are very, very protective of me to the point to where they don't even want nobody saying anything to me. Um, and that's a good thing. But also the part where they need to have their father in their life, and their fathers have been there. We co-parented, but it's still different from when there's a father that actually lives in the household, like sleeps with them, wakes up with them. It's a different behavior that I've noticed in my sons. um, and we as mothers sometimes tend to kind of hoard our sons even when there is a father that we co-parent with, because we want to have the last word. We don't want the man to chastise the son too hard, and we tend to make them soft, and we don't
Yeah,
prepare them for the world
yeah.
to be husbands. Nothing. We mess them up.
Now we have a caller coming in. Caller, you have reached grown women of views and vibes. What do you have for us today?
Ladies, what's happening?
Mr. DJ Mack in the building.
You better know it.
Of course.
Yeah, so listen, I agree with everything that ladies are saying, and you guys are making wonderful points this evening. But I want to just add one more thing on. When your son is protective of you, the things that you go through, you mismanage that, then you can cause your son to look at you like, I just tried to do everything that was right with my mom, and she didn't even care of the things that I was trying to do or the things that I was trying to protect, because there was no one there to stand by her or stand by her side the time when she needed someone, even when she needed someone to help her with me. I was just trying to stand there with her, and she wasn't even acknowledging the fact that I was standing there with her, because she mismanaged that by thinking I'm just a child and thinking that I don't understand the things that she's going through. I just wanted to add that little bit in there when I made this call. Ladies, I love what you guys are doing. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate that comment because yes, he's totally right. You know, and that comes in part, like the doctor said, taking accountability.
Take it.
Because there's things that we can't say without realizing or do that can affect our son, and it will hinder him to where he feel like I can't do nothing right. I can't do
Hmm.
anything to please my mom. Now, Tanise, what is your feeling when it come down to seeing this video here and how the mother was saying? Because I feel like at times these women, they do take out on their sons what the fathers have done. So
Oh yeah.
seeing this video, what is your feeling on that?
Was it seemed like she was coming from a deep, deep hurt of her own, and she was taking that deep, deep hurt of her own and putting it on her child, and her child doesn't have anything to do with what's going on between him and his mother, her father and his father and the mother. It had nothing to do with it, but she was taking that energy and putting it on the child. That's
Yeah.
what I call.
And honey,
Yes, ma'am.
what did you get from that video that you seen with the mother and the doctor was addressing her on taking accountability, but the words that she was saying to her son, you know, what was your feeling on that?
My feeling was she was putting a heavy load on him, making him feel like is everything is his fault and he can't do nothing right in her eyes. And you know,
Yeah,
I just feel that it's wrong to make your kids feel that way.
true. I agree. And Keisha?
Well, you can see the disappointment in his face, the disappointment and the hurt. Even it looked like some rejection toward her. Um, I just feel that we can create unnecessary anxiety and even a little PTSD in our sons if we don't manage ourselves correctly as their mothers. And we can cause more hurt, even though we're not trying to do it on purpose. We can cause a lot of unnecessary hurt in our sons by our actions, by what we're putting on them unnecessarily.
Yes, I agree. And see, my thing is that, she said the main key to things is just like when it comes to men, that we need to learn how to listen.
Mm-hmm.
But see, also in this situation here, when he's dealing with our children and as single mothers, we need to learn to take accountability for where we done wrong. We don't come with manual scripts. They don't come with instructions soon as we push them out.
This job ain't easy.
But doing it alone is so hard. But my thing is that you have some of these women that, because of their emotional skills, because I mean, I was the type of mother to where I'm like, my relationship with him was my relationship. It had nothing to do with my child. My child's relationship with his father is separate from my relationship with his father, my relationship with him. I focus on where I was supposed to stand with my child. Because the one thing I didn't want my child to get up and do is come back and despise me from forming a relationship with their dad, or, neglecting them
Mm-hmm.
from all that the dad could provide that I couldn't, to prepare him for the outside world. You know, and also Ms. Bertha Mason, she said, stop telling your children they're like their father in a negative. Oh, yes.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Listen to a bad example. That is so true.
That's that anxiety and that PTSD we setting them up for.
Yes. And my thing is that we need to learn to keep some things to ourselves. If anything, you see signs, just trying to find a way to deter, to say, oh, you're like your dad. Because if anything, if that child have any bitterness towards their father,
It's gonna make it
any,
amplify.
you're gonna make it worse on them and on you by trying to say you're just like your father.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're not just like their father. They're their own person. That's what I try to express to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
We have to realize, yes, they are our children. We are to guide them and provide them with the skills that they need. But in the same sense, we have to realize that they have their own mind, their own heart, their own character. We can't expect for them to come out the way we are,
No.
or the way we want to do. We got to allow them to find their own identity, but still lay those rules in that skill there, so they know. Because
That's
even
one
if
thing
they,
I've never done is that I've never, ever told my kids, you act just like your dad. Never, ever. Unless it was in a positive way. But I've never ever done it. I think it's very harmful to the child and to the other parent. Even if you don't like the other parents, so be it. But don't put the child in it. Don't put the children in it.
yes. And we have another caller. Carla, Grown Women of Views and Vibe, how we may help you. I can't get
You
my
know
tongue
I was
out.
calling back on this. You know I was calling back right now.
Come on, bring it, bruh.
Listen here. Not only stop talking about you just like your daddy in a negative way. Stop telling your kids they ain't gonna make it to see a certain age. Stop telling your kids they're gonna be dead before a certain age.
Wait a
Stop
minute.
telling your
Say that
kids they
again. Say
ain't
that again
this.
for the ones that did not
Stop
hear.
telling your kids they ain't that. Stop telling your kids you wish you never had them. Things of
Oh
that.
Lord.
Take accountability for the things that you say to your kids, because even though there are some of you out here that couldn't fathom the fact of ever hearing that, I am one of the people that have heard that out of my own mom's mouth, so I can testify to it being said. Stop telling your kids these things. And I'm out. I'm a mute.
I love that little saying. Him and China got I'm mute. And that is so true, because
He
whether
is
you realize
factual.
it or not, the negative that you feed into your children, that's emotional, that's physical, that's mental. And when I say
Abuse.
physical, it's because you are hurting them. You're tearing them down. But see, my thing is like this. Just like one person told me, they told me, I said, okay, if I'm a dirty end, then what's that make you? Because you the one pushed me out. Be careful the things you say, because it's a replica of who you are and how you stand in position as a mother. It doesn't look good.
But not even just mother, Spicy. It can be aunties too, because that's another mother figure. It can be aunties and great aunts and grandmothers. Y'all can. It's still in the mother role, and they can still put that bad energy on your children. Because I had an aunt that told me that I wasn't going to be nothing but a little slut, and I was going to be nothing but a little slut, and I was going to be on welfare for the rest of my life. I'm going to have about 10 or 12 kids, and I'm going to be on drugs. That's what she told me. My own aunt. And how old was I, you asked? I was only about 11, 12 years old.
See, that's sad. And so that's like in you, because that's just like me coming up. And like, we me and Denise, we went to high school together. And it was like, I was going through a lot of things because of what was going on at home. And the thing is when you have, just like the boys look up to their mothers, as a female, we look for our daddy role. We look for that proudness from our dad, And when you tell your daughter, oh, you dumb, you stupid, you're ignorant, you ain't gonna mount up to nothing, you ain't gonna graduate, you're gonna end up on welfare with a lot of kids.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, just know that
I'm not on welfare.
Yeah, no.
I work for the government. Hello. I had my kids and I took care of them by myself. Okay.
I'm not gonna say I didn't.
I ain't gotta say what all I am, but my thing is, I took his negative words and I use it as a sword to fight against it. Because I seen what he was trying to do to me. He was trying to destroy me. He was trying to tear me down. If I allowed that, that's why I learned how to ignore certain things when people like say things, texts or emails. I don't read them.
No, read for what?
I know you coming in a negative form. If I know you're coming from a space of anger, I'm not reading it because I'm not going to eat from that plate, baby. I only eat what is good for me and what's going to keep me in a good spirit. And that's one thing that, we got to look at it. We want to teach our children to go in the right way. We got to feed them the right food. And that includes involving with the dad. See, some of these women are so focused on him being happy with somebody else. They're so focused on him making more money, having a better house. Yes, I had my ex-husband on child support, and that's only because he told me to go get another end and take care of him, so I got Greg Abbott. But when it really came down to it, I didn't focus on when he did or did not pay, because there was a long ways where he didn't pay. I focused on what did I need to do as a woman to take care of my children. As a woman, to make them proud of me and being their mother.
It's amazing how us single mothers, we have to sacrifice.
A whole lot.
We sacrifice. I can't say I was a single mother. I started off as a single mother. It's because my son's father got hit by a car and he was killed. And I started off as a single mother. But we soak in so much energy from all around us. If we soak up all of them, I think we would make it. We get the bad rap around here because we are single mothers. Yes, we made our mistakes, but it's okay. You know,
Yeah.
we're growing and we're learning as we go. And for people out there, especially, no offense, but especially men tend to tear women down as single mothers, like it's completely our fault. We are single mothers.
But my thing is, this is what I have a problem with. And me and Honey spoke on this earlier. A lot of things that the men are speaking on in these videos are speaking on are true. It took me a minute to really look at it and say, okay, they speaking facts. But at the same time, it's your delivery.
Yes.
Because my thing is, I don't think one is better than the other because it's false in both sexes. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's taking responsibility and accountability for your actions and correcting that path when it comes down to our children's. Because as parents, if anything, we want our children to be better than us.
Yeah.
But as women, we need to wake up and start realizing and stop saying you don't need men, okay?
Yeah, that's the worst thing ever.
That period. If you don't need a man, then God should have never took you from the rib of Adam.
Yeah, I think some of the women, okay, as far as myself, when I said I don't need a man, I just don't need no man laying up in my bed. I'm just saying like that. For my kids, that's a whole different thing. I mean,
let me ask you something. And I love you. I love you because my boy Dwight is an exceptional man. We all have flaws. Yeah, but let me tell y'all this.
Yeah,
this woman is blessed. She's blessed. Yeah. Because my thing about it is when it comes down to that man that you say you don't need.
Yep.
When you come down to the hospital or we come down to care, no matter that's the ex, he's there for you.
Yeah, he is.
He helps you out. So we got to stop saying we don't need a man because it's not the fact that where you said I don't need a man. The fact is you have a good man, whether in marriage or divorce. Yeah. He has been there for you. And you don't find that nowadays.
Nope, you don't find people.
You find men that want a woman to take care of them.
Yeah. I can tell you this.
Their mother. Okay. And the men that want their woman to be their mother is because that mother that raised that man, baby fired him and did everything for him to where he did, and he left the dad out of the picture and felt like he didn't need a man to where now look at him. He turned out to be a vagina. Yep. I'm just gonna say how it is.
But I can tell you one thing.
I'm not gonna sit here and tell my son wrong.
I'm gonna say lucky. I'm just gonna say I was blessed. I'm not even gonna say I'm lucky because I don't like to use the
word.
No,
you're blessed. That's why I said you're blessed. Blessed. Because we don't have that.
How many people your ex-husband still help you out with your grown kids and 3 of those kids is not even his dog. And treat them all like they're his sons.
Yes. Yes, caller. Yes. Come on in with it.
Third time in a row. Somebody else gonna have to call in after me. Cause God, man. Look, did you just call that man a vagina?
Yeah.
You called in to confirm that. Get off the phone.
Status, then sit up there and allow that man to be in the life in order to have that structure and being the man.
Yeah, I'm with you. But she's a vagina?
Yeah.
A vaginal.
Yes, vaginal.
He's a JJ. That's what you said?
That's right. Now don't take it back.
I'm a mute.
It is what it is.
Bye.
Mac. I said, Mac, look at and he knows, and we all know there are some men out there, they want a woman to take care of them 100 all the time. They don't want to do nothing. They don't even want to lift the hand.
Because they used to mama doing it.
Yeah, they want the woman to do everything. Then they run out in the streets and tell everybody she don't do nothing.
Right.
I see it happen.
Yeah, so let me take a minute. We're gonna take a minute right quick, go to break, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna finish the conversation. So make sure y'all tune in, share. Much love. Thank you for the support and the love for Queens of Women of Views and Vibes.
Views and Vibes.
Now it's time for this.
What kind of father do you want your son to be?
I want my son to be the kind of father that's there for his child, financially, emotionally, physically, in all aspects, in all areas.
Right. So here's the thing, and this is the thing I think for you to wrestle with, and I think it's a conversation for you and your ex. It's difficult to be what you don't see. Not impossible, but it's difficult to be what you don't see. If you want him to be that kind of father, then it's more likely he's going to be that kind of father if he can see that kind of father.
Correct.
Right? And I really think that a big part of this, and I think where a lot of this breaks down, is when the communication between the mother and the father breaks down, and everybody, like I said, retreats to their corner. I take the kid, my kid, her point, right? And he does his thing. And it's not in the best interest, because your son's still going to have to work through all of those issues. And after a while, he'll just stop asking you. But that doesn't mean he's going to stop feeling anything that he's feeling. And he'll start telling himself his own story, which a lot of times is not an accurate story.
Okay. Beloved sister woman,
yes.
I want to point out something to you. He said, what kind of father do you want your son to be? And the first thing you said,
Financial.
I want him to be there financially first.
Yeah. I was going to let her off the hook on that.
Children do not know anything about finance.
Yeah.
That's for you. Yeah. That is not for your son. And when you don't get that financial support, whatever comes up for you, whether it's bitterness or anger or whatever, I'm telling you, at your best intention, it influences your relationship, your son's relationship with his father. Put the finances on the bottom, not on the top. Go ahead.
I was going to ask,
put your love on top.
Do you are you getting the financial support from him that you want?
No.
No.
Okay.
Right.
So
because here's the thing.
I know. No, you speak first. You're a guest.
The only thing I was going to say, and this is, I think, a trap that a lot of women fall into, but you fall into it in parenting, but you don't fall into it in life. See, if you're trying, it's like child support. If you try to chase the wallet, right, you try to chase the wallet as opposed to chasing the heart.
Big. That's big.
See, if you chase the wallet and you don't get the heart, you get neither. But if you get the heart, you get the wallet too.
That's my wife.
That's
what you got to know. So get the heart.
So the key here, and this is why access to your son is so important. Your son is the heart.
That's right.
See, there's no
And he doesn't know anything about the wallet. He's not thinking about that.
There's no government program designed to get fathers who are married to the mothers of their children to take care of them. Why? Because they're connected heart to heart.
That's right.
So what you have to do is wait, hold on, I want the wallet, but the heart is the key. And by the way, that's what your son wants. This young man here, he didn't say, well, I didn't get those Nikes. What did he say? He said, I ran touchdowns or whatever, and there was no one there. There was no one there.
Oh, that's so big.
If you keep your heart open to the child's father.
Keep your heart.
If you connect with him heart to heart, he'll be able to connect with you and provide the things that you need him to do.
Yes. Thank you, caller, for calling in. As y'all see, the number is scrolling by. Please use it. We like to hear what you got to say. But before we talk about the video that just was aired, I think was it Honey or who was when we went out?
I don't know. It was me, but I don't remember what I was talking about.
I am so sorry. Somebody came to the studio door, says like, okay, let me go to break. But on this video, because we're talking about the emotional sense when it comes to our children and the men. Do y'all, before we get to this here, do y'all feel like that a man be better at raising our children than our women, and why? Let me go to Keisha first.
Oh, well, no, because then they're going to end up in the same situation. They're going to be missing the mother aspect of it. Kids need both parents in order to be healthy. The kind of adult that we want to put out in the world. We want them to be healthy emotionally. We want them to be physically healthy. Like we want the whole kit and caboodle. And we can't get that if the dad has them, or if the mom has them. Even if you have to co-parent, that kid should see no disruption other than his dad is not physically in the house. But when it comes to both parents, they have to be on the same exact page, not one pulling on the other, because your job as a parent is to get this child raised healthy so they can live a productive life.
Absolutely.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. I love it. And Denise, what is your perception on it?
It's all of that and more, because you can't have uh, the one side either way. Either way, you can't have just the one side. I have to agree with Keisha 100% is that, because right now we're dealing with that issue right now where I'm just going to get my son. A lot of y'all know who he is. He's having that issue right now where the mother is playing games with the children, having it where he's trying to see both of my grandbabies, but she's making it difficult, very difficult. When she says he can pick them up, she'll change and say, "Well, they're busy doing this. Or they busy doing that. Or they sleep. Oh, they can't come to the phone right now. They're taking a bath. Or they got school in the morning. Or they're over at the grandparents' house." She makes 100 excuses why my son can't speak or see his kids.
So we're gonna pray on that one now.
Yeah.
And honey,
Both parents to balance out their child, because what a man brings to a child and a woman brings to a child, balance them. So yes, I agree with her 100%.
And see, my thing is, well, like I said, we didn't ask to be single mothers. And like I expect to my kids, because I take accountability and I take responsibility for my part. And they'll tell you there's times mama that came to us and apologized and explained. Because I don't treat my kids as if they're a non-factor. I treat them like they matter. They're human. If we make mistakes, apologize. Take accountability to correct it. But see, my thing is, whether you're together or not, and this is what I'm gonna be honest, I had to fight with my baby's dad on, because the mere fact is, you have no reason to be mad at me. I didn't beat you, you beat me. But anyway, it's not about me and you. It's healthier for our son to see us get along. It's healthier and sets a better example when he sees us working together, instead of putting him in a position to where he's feeling all this anger and then he's starting a game of manipulation. Because that's what you're also teaching them.
Yep, because I had that issue too, Spicy, where the father, you know my story. The father of my two middle children, where he just flat out said, "Let that man take care of the kids," because I married who I married, and he said, "Let that man take care of them kids. I'll see them when they get grown."
But in the same sense, he missed out the whole path and left behind a lot of tools all in the streets that he supposed to apply to his children's life. Not her children. Like my ex-husband, he wasn't there for my children. That I'm the only one got kids by him, but he was there for this other woman's kids that was by 5 different men. Is there bitterness? Is there jealousy? No, because at the end of the day, that's between you and God. Because he says to take care of your household. That means your blood. So my thing is that, like I said, with a lot of the females, we do have to realize there's been a lot of fault on our hands. And it started when we decided to become and got too much into, how you say, we went from big mama panties to thongs, to where we feel like nobody can touch us, to where we got too much of this and we feel like nobody can tell us nothing. We got to do nothing the man say. And it's what I say and my say only, because this is my child. This is where it starts at. If that man is willing to be in that child's life, who are you to keep him from the child? Because you didn't have the child by yourself, like Denise said. That's part of him. He has every right. That's why I despise the court system, where they put a time and date for the father or mother to see the child. Visitation rights. There were no visitation rights when you open your legs. When you can see that child, they want no visitation days. Y'all got down whenever y'all felt like it. So why can't he see his child whenever he feel like it?
Yes.
That's part of his child. That's part of his making.
Well, we all know the system is not for us anyway. So
Against us.
that's just another way to keep that mother and that child down by putting all these restrictions. He can see him here, and this is how much money you get. It's all a systematic issue when it comes definitely to our kids, our melanated children. The
And
system
you know,
always wants their
my
hands in the
ex-husband
middle
told me,
of
he
it.
says, well, when my
I
child
have to
called and
agree with
asked me,
that,
well,
but-
I need this. Well, you get child support.
Oh my goodness! But yeah, but you do. Keisha's 100% correct on that, because what in Green Earth do you think that it's okay to make visitation once about 4 times out of a month for a
That's
father?
not being a parent.
Mm-mm.
How can you instill anything of value and skills and morals twice a month?
Mm-hmm. And that way you can keep the homes broken. There's no way of making those kids stronger. It's all built to make the kids weak. And
But then again, still, people want to sit there and backlash to the child when the child come out to be in the system.
Yeah, but that's where they want
They
the
get in
children.
trouble and they on drugs.
But that's where they want your kids.
The
They
seed
want
is
your
planted
kids.
right here. Exactly. And see, that's the talk I had to have with my ex.
Mhm.
They don't care about our son. Do you really think they care?
No.
We need to step up a position. And it's sad that as a woman, I had to sit there and say, look, we need to talk. This is about our son.
Mm-hmm.
But then when our son, we couldn't find our son, and he cried and he thinking I was going to call him till our son was gone. When he brought my son back to me, I said, this is what I'm talking about. Communication, working together. I'm not your enemy. I forgave you a long time ago. It's about him.
Let it go.
And we cannot prosper with him if we don't work together. He's got to see us get along.
Exactly. But you know what, Spicy? Because you said just that. You got to see us get along. And this is speaking to the single mothers now. I'm speaking to you that I've seen a lot of y'all are when you move on and your ex-man move on, the father of your children move on, y'all not together no more. You want to be vindictive. You want to cause problems. You want to be hateful. You want to be in your feelings. You need to get over and think about your child and not how you feel and see how you can raise this child to be a better person than the both of you. Not being in here trying to who's going to throw the next dagger at each other. It's ridiculous.
Take us to our next break.
We're going to go back. We'll be back in 2 and 2.
They want to make good choices. It's just they have a hard time. And if they don't have someone to emulate, it's that much harder for them.
Yeah, see, that's the truth of it. And what I try to get single moms to understand is that wanting to have someone to emulate, it cannot be you. Because what they struggling with and what they trying to figure out, man, can only be taught by a man. I'm telling you, Jalen, let me ask you something, man. How do you think it went?
I think it went really good because first when Ben came, I thought he was a stranger to me. And I didn't want to, say anything to him, I thought this was, a joke at first. I didn't, really take it serious. But then at the end of the day, I started thinking, I was like, this is somebody that can help me out. This is somebody that is successful in life. They've done things that I would like to do, be very successful. When I got stuff off my chest, like manhood, he said it's real, the real world. It's crazy. Things happen. It's not given to you. Things aren't given to you. You have to work for it.
Yes. I truly hope y'all enjoyed us today. This has been very enlightening. I hope it also has helped others out there that are in the single mother position. You know, like I said, this is not a platform to where we bash people. We're here to help others to succeed. And in helping others to succeed, we have to speak the truth. If we don't speak the truth, then how are we able to help anyone out there, including ourselves? Because even as mothers, we make mistakes. Fathers, they make mistakes. Children, they're going to make mistakes. But as parents, we got to want better and more for our children. Just know that if you speak negativity into your children, you're speaking of yourself. Be careful the words you say to your children because you never know how they might turn out. So I'm gonna turn it over now to Tenise. You know, after seeing that video there, what is your possession of it?
I thought that was wonderful where they were trying to, get the child some great, what's the word I'm looking for? Mentorship. pretty sure, pretty much mentorship is it was that was if you that right there shows that if you're willing to raise a young man into a man, you can do it without the father in the household if the father is not around. I thought it was good. Great. Really good.
And see, saying that the father's not around, we're not saying that these boys do not, and I'm gonna say the females too. No matter what y'all think or what y'all say, these children need a man role model in their life.
Yes, they do.
It takes two. Just like it took two to make a baby, gonna take two to raise them.
Can I say this?
Sometimes it takes a whole generation to raise them.
Can I say one more thing?
Mm-hmm.
Please. With that being said, okay, because everybody knows I have five kids. I'm gonna say six because I have a stepson from another mother. And without the father influence on these boys, I don't know if they would have turned out the way they are because none of my boys on drugs, none of them do any crimes. They all do pretty decently as kids are, young adults. They have their problems and stuff, but they're not in the system or anything like that. They're doing pretty well, I have to say. And they listen, and they got some kind of a manly input put on them. Thank you, Dwight. Was a very good influence on the boys. He really was. He really is. And I'm gonna say is right now. He is.
And you don't find too many like that, And that's why I say, I have so much respect for him. I have a lot of respect for King D to be so young.
Oh my goodness.
And the way he stands and walk when it coming to his children's life and standing by his woman. It's nowadays it's so hard to say the way things are gonna go because people have rewritten relationships, parenting, dating, to where regardless, it's not working. But when it comes to single mother, my opinion in it is that, like I said, I used to get very offended because I'm like, why do they keep tearing us down? Why they keep talking down on us? Like, do they really know how hard it is to be a single mother? Because like with me, I had to work 12 hours, 6 days a week. And then one day I had off to even take my kids to a movie. I'm falling asleep. And still upholding the household, paying the bills, doctor's appointment, because my child had sickle cell. So I was in and out of hospitals. I had to do that by myself because he wouldn't be there, no matter how I called him. These was his kids too. I didn't bar him from being there. I called him every time. I begged him at one point, please be here for them. They need you.
They hard. It's hard.
Because, it is so hard as a single mother to see your child break down and say, I don't know why my dad don't want me.
Oh, man.
That don't make you a man. Especially when you posting pictures with somebody else's child that's not even your blood, but your blood back here crying for their daddy.
That's horrible.
Now you got a woman that sits here and don't keep you from your child. But then there's women out there that do keep their child from the men that want to be in their children's life. And in that sense, women, you need to grow up. It's not about you. Only because you pushed and went through labor, that's still part of him. Because without him, you wouldn't even have that. Not even half a baby. But it comes to a place to where you got to acknowledge it's not about you. It's about the kids. Going out to clubs. Okay, free time. If daddy got them, okay, free time. Okay, go ahead, do what you got to do. But when that child come home, you got to be mama. Men and women, and I'm going to say this like this, because even though it's about single mothers, men and women do need to work together for the sake of the children. They need to stick together for the sake of the children. If we don't want our children to be 6 feet under or behind the bars or on drugs, work together.
Work it out.
It's not about your emotions. It's not about you. It's about them.
Put aside
I always tell my kids, I want you to be better than me.
Absolutely. I can't say how many times I've said that. I told my kids that I want you to be better than me. Do better than I did.
Because even with these mothers that's jealous of their children, do you know how that make you look?
I can't be jealous of my kids.
How can you be jealous of something you gave birth to that's of you?
Yeah, they look like you.
Probably look better than you. But at the same sense, that's your baby.
Yes.
You shouldn't be jealous. You should be proud.
Proud. That's my little.
But when you go around talking bad about your child,
yes,
to their face and behind their back and to others, that don't make you look like a woman. That don't look like a good mother. Because what mother sits there and tear their child down?
Nope.
What mother allows anybody to put their mouth wrongly on their children? Yes, it's hard to be a single mother. It is. I've lived it. I'm living it. It's hard.
It takes.
I mean, do you think of one time where I say I don't need a man? I'm not gonna say that because God put man on this earth for a reason.
Yes, but I'm still gonna say I don't need no man right now. I got things to do.
But in the other sense,
I got things to do.
We can say we don't need a man. When it comes down to
I don't need no man.
When it comes down, when you say you don't need a man, when your car breaks down, who do you go to?
I know how to fix my car.
Nothing. If that car gets wrecked, you can make excuses as long as you want to. There's a lot of things that a man is needed. Because just like a man sitting here and say they don't need a woman, yeah, you do need a woman. You do. And the women need men. That's why God put us both here on this earth. And I'm going to say I despise when women say that, no matter what.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because at the end of the day, who her father is. You don't need him for air. You need a man because God is a man.
That father, most definitely.
He's still a man. No matter how he's immortal or mortal, there's still a man.
Yeah. You're right.
You got your sons there. You can hear right to this day, my baby boy. If I'm sick and I can't move, I need my son. That's a man.
Yeah.
That female to take care of that man if you get disabled. You need that woman. We need each other. Stop saying we don't need each other. Stop tearing each other down. Stop all this negativity. What are we portraying to our children when we do that? Speak life into our children. And speaking life and planting that seed is by allowing that dad to step there to work together to show the proper example for our children to grow. No, if a man is not there, the statistics is true. The prison systems are there. The drugs are there.
The drugs are there. The horrors are there.
Bad decisions.
And then even by the video we see where that lady is speaking negativity to her son, he can build to be against women to where he hurt women.
Oh, yes.
You created that monster. You did.
I can see that.
That's just the bottom line. Single mothers, we have been failing for years. We have. No matter what you say. Just like I said with Father's Day, Allow them to have their day. That's not your day. We didn't have our day. We had Mother's Day. Allow that father to have their day. That's for them, not for you. I don't care if you are taking care of the kids by yourself. I don't care if there's no man in the house. You're a woman. You cannot be a man. You cannot be a father. You cannot teach these children to go on the path or the structure that a man is structured to be.
Mm-hmm. But you know what, Spicy? Y'all women need to know. We cannot identify as a man. We cannot identify through their hormones, how men grow, what men feel like at 7, feel like at 13, how they feel like at 16 and going up. We can never, just like they can't feel how we felt when we were 7, 8, 9, 10, growing up. We went through different levels of hormones. And what does this mean, Daddy? What does this mean, Mommy? Men, we cannot relate to those. So women cannot relate to a man's hormones. Like men can't relate to our hormones, we cannot relate to theirs. They know what we go through when they have that little peak moment.
And like I said, I take this to heart because, that's one reason why, I did start off with just me as a female.
Mm-hmm.
But when I brought Dwight on, it's because I knew that a man was needed on this platform to stand and deliver a difference from a male's perspective that a woman could not provide. That's why we have men on this platform. And that's why we have a man's platform.
Yes.
We need to learn to listen. Sometimes the women don't need to be in the room. We need to listen. We need to be outside in the comments and listen where they're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Because they got emotions that we neglect to see because we're so used to being spoiled that everything was about us. We're so used to the men sacrificing for us and being for us to where we forget they're human too.
Yeah.
He can get sick. He can get injured.
Mm-hmm.
He needs an ear sometimes. Sometimes he just needs you just to sit there and be quiet.
Sometimes you just need a simple little hug. Just hug me, love me, and that's that.
And trust, when these children see how you treating their father, they remembering that. And that's a tool for them to grow in life in order to handle a relationship on their own. Women, stop having your young girls twerking and wear these short skirts.
Say it again, Spicy. Say that one little part again.
I despise that. I wish my granddaughter would.
Oh my goodness. Now, if they want to
You're not a woman and a mother when you got your young girls on social media twerking and wearing short skirts and laughing about it. That ain't no mother. You ain't putting the right skills and tools in their life to become a woman. Allow that child to be a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to put these girls as your friends. You a mother. Me and my daughter can laugh and joke around all day, but you know what? When it comes down to it, she know who mama is.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, like I tell my kids, no matter how mad you get, no matter how it hurt, I still, and God expects for me to be mama.
Yep.
So the single parents, yes, the delivery across social media from the men could be different. It could be. The wording could be different.
Yeah.
But they're telling the truth.
They're telling the truth. They're telling the truth in the most part of it all.
But like Keisha say, there's no thing in they're better off with their dad or their dad be better at raising them. Because my thing is, like Denise said, they still gonna be missing the nurturing part.
Yep. That was Miss Honey said that.
Well, I get y'all mixed up. I love y'all.
I'm gonna give what credit's due. You know me. I'm gonna give. Yeah. She said they're gonna miss the nurturing.
Yes. So, I just had to put it out there because I'm seeing a lot of these young girls, 3, 5, 7. I wish I could snatch some of y'all mothers up right now. But then you want to cry as soon as a pedophile's around them or they get snatched. I'm not saying because of the way they dress or the way they twerking is the reason, but you're intensifying it.
But you get upset if some man is staring at your little girl. Well, get her out the little short shorts and the little short skirts and the little tiny halter tops.
Yes. So, like I said, I love everybody no matter what. And, this has been a good subject. I know we could go all night for real.
Yes, we can.
But, I'm trying to go ahead and get some time with my baby boy because I haven't had no time with him. You go to the store or something. But, the Queens will be back next month with a new topic. This has been very, very nutritional. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let Keisha take us out.
Yes.
But make sure that y'all tune in next week to Grown Men Talking. They will be talking about when the woman talks about we don't need a man.
I don't need no man.
So let's see what they bring. Because if you thought last night was spicy. Oh, Jesus. Watch them. They got y'all. So Keisha, take us out of here.
All right. Let's first like to say thank you to everybody that tuned in and shared in this evening with us. Just a word of nutrition. Mothers, we have to do better by our sons. We love them, we teach them, but we have to allow those fathers to be in their lives. Fathers, step up, be what you need to be to your son. If you have to co-parent together in love so that is what that child takes away is love and not hate, anxiety, PTSD, and resentment. Show love for one another at all times. Peace out.